Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Spectrum of Hurdles. I'm Shane.
And I'm Ed.
We are here with very special guest, Michael Ankers, singer, songwriter, musician, and most importantly, autism advocate. Hi, Michael.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
And why don't you explain to everybody where you're from?
Hello everyone. Well, you should probably tell by my accent. So I live in a town called Chadderton, which is like near city of Manchester. I know most people live in Manchester more than where I live, in England, in the UK. So that's where I'm
Awesome. And for those that don't know, this is our first guest from the UK. So welcome. We're happy to have you.
from. Happy to represent.
All right, Ed, want to start with the first question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, because being our first guest from the UK, how has progress in autism acceptance been over there in the UK? Are they very accepting of autistic people, or is it something still growing?
That's a good question. I would say it's a lot better than it used to be, like in terms of like. So I've been discussing with it because I've been in a like autism therapy group recently. We've been discussing it. So I think in some, I mean, I think like most people like in the that I've met, I can't speak for the whole media, but like have been very like accepting, like understanding. There's been better progress in like schools and like colleges and like universities. I think there still needs to like some like things need to be like updated a bit. Um, but like and then into like the healthcare system with like getting autism diagnosis, it can take. I'm sure it's probably similar in the US, but like it can take like a few years, like on a waiting list for certain things like diagnosis. Um, And I think, I mean, there's a lot of things that like check like in terms of like jobs and stuff, and like like the opportunities have changed a lot better. But obviously, there's always room. There's always room for improvement with it. Like,
Right.
different things. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Now, how long have you been in doing music for?
So I'm thinking. So I'm 20. Well, I'm 21 next month. So I have been doing music now properly. Well, I started singing about like 10 or 11 years now, and then I've been doing music for I think, about 10 years properly. I'm actually speaking, funny enough, funny timing. So today I actually released a new song.
Wow.
Perfect time. Yeah, so I've got a new song that is called From Your Pet. So basically, it's about so I used to have a dog called Dave, who's a border collie mixed Labrador, and unfortunately he passed away. Well, it was a bit of an old dog anyway, but he passed away at the end of January. So I wanted to do a song about like like I've known a few of the people that have done like songs about like pets and stuff, and like, but you don't really obviously you see something about like loss and grief, but you never really like hear something about like like pet loss, just they are part of the family. Like if anyone hasn't had a dog or a cat or whatever pet, like whatever. Um, so basically that's so if anyone I'll do a bit of self promotion. But yeah, so my song come out today, literally. So it's called From Your Pet, and it's in memory of my dog, but it's also a song that raises awareness of like pet loss, because obviously some people like, well, it's a pet, but it's like, well, yeah, but it's still part of your family, like whatever pet it is, if you grew up with it or had it for a long time. Like I got my dog when I was about like 9 to 10, and obviously I'm like, well, like 8, 9, 10ish, and like obviously I'm 20, well, turning 21 and even down 2 months ago, so I had it for over 10 years. So like, it was a very, we sort of grew up together, so it was a big part of our
Yeah.
life.
Oh. I'm sorry about that. But that's really nice though that you made a song about all that stuff. So we're
Yeah,
definitely gonna listen to that. All of you guys watching and listening to this, please check out the song. What was it called again?
from your pet.
There we go. Yeah. And people
And
can
where can they
find
find
that
that?
on Spotify, iHeart, or something.
Yeah, all the official audio is on. Well, you can listen to it anywhere. But my YouTube channel is Michael Ankers more. So if you search my name, it'll come up with it. But yeah, it's also available on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, all that good stuff.
Nice. Yeah. And we'll definitely put that in the link below in this video. So please, guys, check it out.
Now, how do you feel your different way of thinking, being autistic, affects your music and your writing skill?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, I mean, I've spoken with like other like people with disability like who do like me stuff, and I think for like a lot of like autistic people or people like or like I don't know if you've heard of stuff like neurodivergent, if not more than one disability. But like I think because obviously there are a lot of creative people that like autistic or ADHD or other disabilities.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I would say I think for me like it's a good way because like sometimes I'm not speaking for all autistic people. I've said there's different levels of the whole spectrum, but like I think for me and like other people that spoke to that, it's a good way of being able to like. I mean, I'm quite good at talking about my emotions anyway, but like to be able to express them properly, like because the when I'm like writing my own songs and stuff, I feel like it's a good way for me to sort of express myself a bit better sometimes. And like say exactly what I want to say. Like I've done some, like I said, obviously I've done something about pet loss, I've done something about like friendships, relationships, all different things. I mean, I've done something about autism as well. Try and talk about it when I can, like obviously I'm here. Um, so yeah, I would say like it, like it for me, it's good for me to be songwriting and autism to like express it for the writing the songs and releasing the songs. It's like a good way of expressing my emotions, and like process experiences, and like that other people can relate to as well. Um, but I think as well, like it, like because it, like because obviously autistic people like our brain has a different way to like a different way of like different sort of unique way of thinking. So in terms of
Mhm.
like the songs and stuff, like I see like what we sort of see the world like different perspectives. So like when it comes like writing the songs and the whole like process of it, and like like it's a good thing too, because like like you work your brain works in a different like creative way. But also, I think it's different as well because I know like there's like some people like say from the studio that I go to, some people they're like every week, and I think if I was
Yeah.
there, I'd be like I don't know what to write about, and like so I feel like for me like when I when I'm when actors there, I'm like done like a few weeks or so, but like it's for me it's good because it gives me the time. Like, say if I've got nothing to write about, with no podcast, or this is not something I want to do because of something. So for me, when I go, it's just like a nice experience. It's where I'm one of the most happiest places when I'm recording studio, even if it's just for a few hours, usually on a Sunday or Monday. Just recording it. It's a great experience, I would say.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the timing for this video was actually great. Me and Shane and another friend of ours, James Williams, are going to be talking about the influences of music in the autism community. Shane being a DJ, James being a musician, and I'm a former like karaoke DJ, but I'm like a karaoke junkie, and music has shaped our lives immensely. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who are scared. So I wouldn't say scared, but they don't know how to express themselves sometimes in music. Do you ever
Yeah.
find fear or anything when you're trying to express yourself?
I suppose like for anyone maybe not just well, more even more so for autistic. But yeah, I suppose there's been like moments like because other people don't like this, and because I do, so I'm also, it's just like creative side. So I'm also, I know the education system's a bit different over to America, but so I'm currently in my second year of university. I've got another year, well, academic year left. So I'm currently studying a degree called Arts and Performance. It's like performing arts, sort of like drama theatre sort of thing. And with that, obviously, you've got to have a lot of confidence, and I mean, it also helps with like boosting your confidence. And like on that course as well, there's a lot of like in my year, for example, because there's another like small group was in my year, and there's a lot of them that are like on the spectrum or like other disabilities, things like that. I know there's obviously there's been a diverse like mixed like for obviously for me they obviously like have like a disability society and all these different things, obviously the support there. So like with that as well, and obviously I'm an actor and stuff, and I do things. So I think like in whatever creative space you do get nervous because like you like with obviously autism, like obviously I'm not saying again, not saying it's for every autistic person, but like I like overthink about things a lot, which can sometimes like influence like how I think. But I'm like, oh, should I do this differently with this scene that I'm doing, or with this play, or with this song that I'm writing, or this song I'm performing, or whatever. But at the same time, I said, I mean, obviously that we all get scared of doing certain, like especially with performing, because it does sometimes push you out of your comfort zone. So yeah, so there are times I do that stuff, but majority of the time I love doing. Like I don't necessarily like earn money for it, but like at the moment, but like I enjoy doing what I've made new friends through it. I've studied acting. Obviously, like I can write meals. I go to a recording studio where I've been for like 6 years this year, and I've built up a really good relationship with everyone there, and it's great. So like I've got, even when I've said I've got like a full, like sort of like support system of people into like whatever I do, like well in life, but also creating.
Nice.
Well, Shane, I know you have the one question you like to ask everybody every time, so lay it on them.
All right, Michael. Since our group is called Hurdle, the golden question to ask you is, what is the biggest hurdle you have encountered in your entire journey as being a musician and an artist?
Oh, okay, that's a question. Um, I I suppose it's the same for like a lot of people, like not just me. But I would say in terms of like the biggest hurdles, I suppose it's just like what people think. I mean, obviously, like it's fine with like constructive criticism, or like if I ask like someone like, "Oh, what do you think of this?" Song or whatever. But I think like, excuse me. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not the greatest musician singer in the world. I'm not saying that, but like I have took the time over the years of like being like whether it's practice some covers or like doing karaoke or whatever I'm doing, um, doing a gig or whatever. Over these, so it's like I took the time, and like everyone said, like how much of progress is I think from when I first started like doing my own songs and writing, singing and all this. But obviously, you do get the person like, oh, you can't sing it like I'm not. Well, like everyone's got their opinion. That's fine. So what's that? I suppose it's that. It's just like the people. I mean, obviously, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But then it's like, oh, you can't sit there. I'm like, well, that's your opinion. Other people. Like I said, I'm like, I know what I used to sound like when I first started. So now I know. Like, even if I do say so myself, I would say I've practiced a lot. Yeah, so I suppose the biggest hurdle, like for a lot of musicians, artists, actors, YouTubers, like, people's views. I've got quite thick skin now, but like even so, it's still sometimes I'm like, oh, you did. I'm like, well, I'm trying. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. Like I'm not by any means, but I'm just doing what I love, and most people like it. So it's like, I'm just enjoying what I do.
Yeah, I could totally relate to that. I feel that way sometimes because I've recently started releasing mixes again, like remixes off of songs. And just, I don't know, sometimes I do care what people think, but at the same time, I don't. It's like, well, that's my own thing. I'm having fun with it. So why does it matter if anybody's like, oh, yeah, that's good? Oh, no, I hate that. But I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So, what's in the near future for you, my friend?
So obviously, last released a new song today, so there's going to be lyric video, music video coming for that once I start filming it. Also, what else? Well, obviously, I'm currently in uni, so I've got another year and a bit left there, so once I finish that, my studying. Obviously, there's going to be more songs. I'm planning on getting some like, proper equipment so I can start doing like performances. There is going to be a performance like video for the new song that I've released today. And yeah, just like obviously I'm gonna try like do like other acting things and just keep doing what I like and do like all the different creative stuff and like things in life that I do. So yeah, that's what I sort of say toward it in the near future.
Awesome. Real quick, I've noticed on your timeline thing on your Facebook page, you were like
Yeah.
a host at a fashion show or a co-host or something.
Yes, yes, yeah. So yeah, so that so basically, a few it was about so it's in March. Oh no, February, March. So yeah, so basically, because obviously they would I think they do a thing every year called at my university. It's called Global. It's like Global Week. So 'cause obviously there's a lot of like at universities that people from other countries. There's like that's like international students as well as like people like me, people from the UK. So I don't so I go to the University of Huddersfield. And so basically what they do there is they do a global week. So it's like all like different foods and different like music and all different things like fashion from different cultures, different countries. And at the uni itself there's a lot of different like cultural societies, like country societies like Pakistan, India, Nigeria, obviously the UK as well. Um, so basically, yeah. So for that, I think it was like in February they'd asked some of the, I think it was like business students and some of the like the people who like sort of like lead all the campus events. Asked because obviously they'll drama students will perform, do all different things. So they wanted some people to model for the UK but also host, and they're looking for a male or a female host. So me and my friend, but it ended up being someone else being female host, and I think she was also there. But yeah, so we ended up hosting for the because I think they decided to like do an extra one this year. So me and the girl called Leah, I think she's from Ukraine. We hosted for the global fashion show. So it's like presenting like all the different countries. So there was about like 15 to 20 countries. Students representing each country. So but yeah, so we were like hosting like the fashion show, like different facts about each country and like like to do in terms of like clothing and culture and stuff like that. And it was honestly, it was like I was like, oh no, this is amazing. It was like really just like a fun experience. I loved it. It was great.
Awesome. Yeah, I've always wanted to do something like that. So
Yeah.
hopefully down the line, in a year, a couple of years, that happens at some point. But that's really cool. I'm glad you got to do that.
One final question. What was the best piece of advice you ever had growing up?
Oh, well, to take it back to like autism disability and stuff. So like this is something my mum and I say to other people. So with obviously like disabilities, being disabled obviously can be difficult. But like I always put, I think what someone said it to me. There's the word ability and disability, and the word able and disabled. So like even though like you have this thing that is like I say. I always say autism is a great part of it. It doesn't define it, but like that's what I mean. So like that's why I say that the word ability, disability, and the word able, and disabled, which is like even if you have this condition or whatever it is, like I mean, obviously there may be things you can't physically or something actually do, but there's a lot of things you can do, and like you shouldn't let. Obviously, there may be certain things you might not be able to do. Like in general, like you shouldn't stop. Like or like we said, I mean, we just obviously speak about fear before. Like like you, if you want to, like do what you want to do with if represent you with your disabilities, like racism, or like if you want to be like a singer or like I'm doing, or like a podcast host or whatever, like or like a doctor or whatever, like don't let your disability, there's a part of you, but they don't define you. So that's what I would say is a piece of advice that I always like quote to people, like as much as I can.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, never let it define you, like who you are completely.
Exactly.
Well, Michael, we thank you for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure meeting you. For our YouTube fans out there, if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, hit the notification. I believe, I'm not sure if I'm right in this chain, I believe this is actually our 10th video, so we're now in double digits. So that's a good
It's
thing.
like our maybe 14 or 15, something like that. But
Oh, okay.
we're keeping it rolling.
We're keeping it rolling. We thank you for your advocacy work, Michael, and have a wonderful day.
Yes, and again, thank you for being here, and we'll definitely be in touch.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys.